Hello and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me and I hope you're doing good. My name is Sadia and I'm from beautiful British Columbia, Canada. If this is your first time watching my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment and press the bell icon to receive more videos like this. In today's video, we are going to share how to make baklava at home. So with the will and name of our God, let's start today's video. To make a baklava, we need to go through different steps. The step number one is to make the sugar. Always remember to make your syrup first before starting making baklavas. So to make the syrups, here I'm using 4 cups of sugar with 5 cups of water. And also, when you're adding the sugar and water, please, like here, I'm doing it, make sure you mix the sugar and water very well, that you don't want the sugar to be stuck at the bottom of the pot. In other pot, there's a little pan or pot that you have, I'm adding less than 1 cup of water, and I'm adding a little bit of saffron, which is going to be a pinch or as a 1/4 of a teaspoon, and that's for my to color my syrup. If you don't have a saffron, I know it's very pricey, you can use the yellow food coloring. The other thing for my syrup I'm doing here is I am adding lemon with the whole peel of it, like I slice 1 lemon, and also I add at least 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in it. It's a fresh lemon juice. Please use fresh lemon juice, not those bottled ones. And also for the flavor, I'm adding cardamom, and here I add 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom. Once when your sugar is a start or syrup is a start boiling, now my saffron water is ready and I'm adding to it to give it a beautiful, nice, original syrup color for my baklavas. And when it's all done and you mix the saffron water with the syrup, so what we're gonna do, once it's really boiled like this, we are going to bring our temperature a little bit low and let it start boiling till it gets thick enough. The step number 2 is to make the oil ready for the baklavas. So first we need to make the syrup, and second now we need to make our oil. For this amount of baklava that I'm going to make today, I add 2 cups, which is 1 big loaf of butter, and I let the butter boiled, then I remove the extra bubbles that is not necessary to be in our baklavas, because if you add this bubbles inside the baklava, that will gonna make your baklava very mushy. And some people says my inside baklava is soft, and that's the reason. So please make sure you're gonna remove all these extra bubbles or excuse me, the milk for extra milks from the butter. So we're gonna put this one on the side. We don't boil it too much, we just boil that we can remove all those extra dairy from it. And now I am adding 1.5 cup of oil. You can use regular oil. I use here the oil that I have. It's a little bit hot, and I'm gonna let it to become soft. Then when as soon as ready, I'm adding it to my 2 cups of butter. So for this recipe I used 2 cups of butter or 1 loaf of butter, and I used 1.5 cup of oil, and we are going to mix them together and put this one also on the side. Here, because I'm going to make baklavas with a filling also today, so the number 3 things I'm here doing, making my fillings ready. To do that, I am adding 2 cups of at least 2 cups or 3 cups of milk, and also I'm adding a sugar in it, and also I'm adding semolina or suji. So this is my 1 cup of semolina that I'm adding here. And after I add this, mixing it together, and the third ingredient, I'm going to add my sugar. As you can see, I add 2 cups at the beginning and 1 cup of milk later. So total, I did use 3. And then I add my suji or semolina. Now I'm going to add my sugar. While I'm doing all these things, I'm keep mixing my syrup. It's in a low temperature. I want to make sure that's mixed enough, or it's not too thick. And before I forget about it, so here I add my cup of sugar, and I'm gonna add a cardamom in it a little bit. You can go with a half a cup teaspoon, or with a more than that, but I use at least 1 teaspoon of cardamom inside my filling, and I add a little bit. This one that you can see here is my sugar, and I add that. And also later on, I'm adding a little bit, like a 1 or 2 spoon of oil inside these fillings. Mix it really well, and you have to bring your temperature to the low medium, and start mixing it till you see your filling is getting thick. For the flavor, you have options. Beside the cardamom, you can add the rose water, you can add almond water, anything. And here I'm adding the jasmine and orange flavor, and I use only 1 teaspoon of it. So just only to give a little bit extra flavor beside the cardamom, and believe me, taste will be really good. Like I said, if you have vanilla, you can add vanilla. If you have rose water, you can do that, or you can use something else like I did. So after making all those steps, which was the syrup, the oil, and the filling, now it's time for me to bring my baglawas together. In this video today, I used the pre-made baklava sheet. I bought it from supermarket, and then in the future I will gonna have a video that show you guys how to make these sheets. But today, to make it a little bit easy, because most of people, they don't have time to make it, so I just want to show you guys with the pre-made baklava sheets how to make your baklava. It will be still very delicious and crispy. And here I am adding 2 sheets at a time. So I had my 2 sheets. I put some oil on top of it. Brush the butter mix that I have, butter and oil. I brush it. You don't need to make it really, really liquidy with oil. Just brush your butter or oil mix and each 2 piece. So I put 2 piece in the beginning. Then I did another 2 piece, and if you think that you need to add 1 more, go ahead. But I stopped with the 4 piece of baklava, and I sprinkle my walnut in it. Now I'm rolling it, because this is a different kind of baklava style. So this is the rolling style, because we all know the other style. So I just decided to make a different one. And after, when you roll it, make sure equally you're gonna cut your baglavas. You can go with a smaller size, because I'm making it for a special day, and I want to make it a smaller for each person can grab it easily and finish it. But if you want to do it for a business reason, you can cut it bigger than this. But here is for a 1 person. I made it a smaller portion that they are able to eat it. You can choose your dishes according to how much baklava you're going to make that day. The beginning, I used this dish, and then I noticed this dish is a little bit big for my baglavas, the amount that I'm making. So I used my smaller one, which you're gonna see it in a few seconds. So you keep cutting the baglavas, make sure they're all in the same size. In some reason, if they are not, no problem. I will show you guys like later on that if you want to make a smaller size than this, or a round shape, and you don't need to use separate dishes for them. You can add them all together. Like I said, here I changed my dish because I want them to be close together, not far from each other. Once when you roll them and cut them, now on each of this baklava roll, I am going to add my butter oil mix. I'm not pouring it all over. I use the spoon, and on each of them at least I put 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter mix. And once when I can see butter on the bottom and butter on the side, then I stop. Here one more time I'm showing you guys. I put my 2 sheet, I put my butter, then I start putting my what do you call it, walnut mix. So here exactly the same thing we did before. The only difference here is I'm adding the filling in it, and for this I just want, if I want to make it like a roll of baklava with the mix. So what I do, I just put my mix only at the beginning. So I put my walnut, then I put my mix at the beginning and put a little bit walnut on it, and I start rolling it. Make sure you roll it really tight. If you roll it loose, you know what's gonna happen is when you're cooking it, it's gonna be falling apart and it will be piece. If you're wondering why I am putting some on the side, because once when you're rolling baklava, sometimes you don't have enough on the side, so I make sure that the roll is going to be all equal, and I noticed the end was smaller, so I add some more mix at the end, and look at this now. They are all nice and equal, and also, you see, as you can see, I just put a little bit, squish it together to make it a little bit wrinkly, and this will help you to absorb the syrup, the oil, and do not fall apart. Again, you're gonna cut it regarding what you want. For this kind of baklava, when I made the filling, so I just add only on the top part of baklava, the mix, so I'm doing it the roll. So I'm cutting it like a roll, like we did before with the other sides, yeah, and also you can slice it round. But also you can make baklavas with again the 2 sheets walnut, and you can put them mixed all over the sheet from the top to the bottom, and then you're gonna put your walnut and start rolling it. And instead of cut it in a roll, you can cut them all around, that you can see here, half is roll and half is like a cinnamon kind of style, but make sure that you're gonna cut them all in the same size. After that, same thing, we are going to put our oil, 1 to 2 spoon or 3 spoon of oil on each baklavas. Then you make sure there is you can see the butter at the sides and the bottom. When it's done, you are going to bake them at a temperature of 300 or 180 for at least 45 to 1 hour. When you see their golden brown sides, bottom, top, then you can take your baklavas out. You can check the oven anytime you want, open it and check, see if they are baked or not. Before I'm adding my syrup, I take out the extra excess oil and butter mix that we put on top of our baklavas. And this will help you guys to make your baklava very crispy. If you leave this oil and you add the syrup on top of it, your baklava is not going to be crispy. They will be sweet, juicy, but not juicy and crispy. So juicy inside and crispy outside. To do that, make sure there is no extra oil on there. After that, our baklava is still really hot, our sugar is cold, then or warm, it's not boiled. We're gonna add that cold syrup on top of our hot baklava, and this way it absorbs our syrup right away. If your baklavas become cold and you're gonna put the syrup, remember it will not gonna absorb it very fast. So here you go. We made our baklavas today, and when it is done, you're gonna transfer it to your favorite dish, any plate, anything you like. Put them there, design it. Then you're gonna put your pistachio that you already grinded before on top of each of them. I like to go like each. I don't want to put everywhere. If you're gonna put on each of them a little bit of pistachio, it looks really nice and it will be delicious, and you and your guest still have nice flavor of pistachio on baklavas. As you can see, look at this, a bottom and a top. And this is my filling ones. Like this one was all full with the fillings. Look how crispy and nice they came. And when you have a bite, it has lots of juice in it. It's soft and delicious, and it's crispy on side and on the top. And this one is our regular baklava that we did without the filling, just a walnut, and we roll it. Again, same thing. If there is extra butter, we take it out. If it's not, we're gonna add our sugar and make sure all of them has enough sugar. After, when you're mixing the sugar, and then you can put them in a different your favorite dish. Look at the color of the syrup. It's not white, it's a beautiful golden color, and we give this color to our syrup with saffron. If you don't have saffron, you can add the food coloring, yellow food coloring. I'm not in a big favorite of the food colorings, but in this case, if you don't have it at home, don't worry, you can use that and give a nice color to your syrup. Do not use just a regular white syrup in it. It looks nice and it looks very delicious and looks very original. I'm really hoping that you guys like today's video, and I really want you guys to make this one. If you follow whatever I did step by steps, I guarantee you, you're gonna have a delicious baklava that your guests, your family, your kids, and you by yourself gonna love it. And I'm gonna show. Unfortunately, you guys not gonna see me that when I'm trying it, but here I will gonna cut one of these baklavas, and I'm gonna eat it and see how good and delicious this baklava is. And once when I transfer it from my original dish to my plate, if there's any extra sugar or a syrup, make sure you put them all back to it. And if you want to add a little bit more syrup, no problem, you can add it. I'll see how much. Like I said, you don't want it to be completely juicy, but you're gonna have a nice and juicy inside and crispy outside. That's the whole thing, our secret about baklava. So everything is done. We transfer it. We put our syrup. Now I'm going to put my pistachios on top. I separate this one to just try it later on for you guys as soon as I finish with decoration or decorating it with pistachio. Some people, they put pistachio in inside too. You can do that, but if you don't want, walnut is completely enough. Walnut or pecan. Here is, and believe me, it's very nice and crispy at the top. When I cut it, it just makes a beautiful crunchy noise, and inside is very juicy. And look at this, it's not even 10 minutes that I add the juice, and imagine by tomorrow it will be so nice and delicious. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Till my next video that I am going to be back with you guys, I hope you guys will all have a good day, and thanks again for sharing your time. Please don't forget to subscribe or leave a comment to my channel.